Hello and welcome to episode 45 of Unemployed to Unstoppable into season 9. We've had some wins, we've had some losses. In general, it's going okay, and there's some transfers to boot on top. So stay tuned and I'll take you through it all. Welcome back. So probably the best place to start is transfers. We have made one more little signing. Carlos Inga comes in as a Peruvian midfielder with a lot of potential. We've brought him in, loaned him out straight away, and we've also loaned out Gleeson following the arrival of Miskovic. So that's where we were so far. It's kind of where we left it at the end of the transfer window before the Man City game, where we got turned over quite heavily. Now I talked about who we nearly bought instead of Miskovic, and because it's the last season and because it's the first player we've had crop up from the scouts who's potentially world class, I've gone back in for him. So if I just have a quick look at our transfer centre, you can see there we've let Matthias Gobig go as well. So in January he's going to leave. Not really much to say about that. He wasn't going to get in. We changed the formation from having a left winger. He came looking to leave, so we'll let him go. In terms of transfers in, Tom Fischen, Germany. Not bad initial 10 million, but rising to 64. Now I've spread them payments over a number of years to try and keep the initial costs down. But he comes in with a huge amount of potential. He's probably going to be the best player we've ever had at the club in the save. He's already looking pretty phenomenal, and he's probably got a little bit of room to grow. I don't know what more to say. I'm excited about coming in January. That's the bit I'm kind of waiting for. I want to get through it. I want to see it, and I want to see what he can do when he gets here. Now he partners with Miskovic. I mean, that really means up top we're looking pretty strong because we've got Radibi as well, Bruno. We've got Mabom as a kind of fifth choice there. So all in all, the squad's looking pretty fantastic, if I'm honest. We're not doing too bad in terms of the league. Just if I click on the right button, third time lucky. We're currently sat in 8th. We do have a game in hand on West Ham, 16 points. I mean, we're a long way off Man United, but they're on a phenomenal run. 1-10, lost 1. I think they're actually one of the teams that probably beat us if I look in the schedule. Yeah, they are. So you left us at for the City game. We recovered and got a win at Watford. We then got beat by Man United, a draw at Newcastle, which isn't too bad. In Europe, we beat AEK, and we had a couple games domestically. So Sheffield United managed a 2-1 win. Crystal Palace were beating the Carabao Cup. We then got beat by Aston Villa, which is a little bit disappointing because I see them as one of the clubs we should be beating. We got beat by Juve, which probably doesn't come as too much of a surprise. They're the strongest team in the Champions League group we've got. Then we had a draw at Leicester, which again isn't too bad, but I'd like to be seeing us beat them. I have a bit of a winning streak, albeit against some of the lesser opposition. So Cardiff we beat 2-0. Astana, which again is no surprise there, we beat 5-0 in the Champions League group. Wolves we beat 2-0. Lincoln we put out in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. And then a draw with Leeds is a little bit disappointing. A victory against Astana, albeit only by the goal this time. And then a draw with Chelsea just before the next match. So in this episode we've got a game against Tottenham away, and then the second leg against Juve, just to give us a bit of a European flavour as well. That should take us nicely up towards that January transfer window. I may well click through there just to see what the fans say when Fitch arrives as our new striker. But all that aside, let's get into the games. Let's see how we do. We're looking pretty good in terms of form. We're not scoring as many as I'd like to, but I think we might be able to change that as fortunes improve. So stay tuned. I'll get to the first game. Welcome back for the away game at Tottenham. So starting lineup for today: Mamedov in goals. Back 4 of Galosi at left back, Branthwaite and Moreno in the centre, and Wattiau at right back. Midfield 3 of Neves, Webster and Fazzini. Fazzini I recognise was kind of our second choice left back, but he's developed quite well into a kind of a centre midfield, especially in that ball winning role. So we'll bring him in, and that's mostly because Costas is struggling a little bit in terms of fitness. So we're giving him a bit of a rest. I would love to have had him in the team because it's our strongest team, but again we'll have to rest him where we can because we've got a lot of games coming up. DeSantis plays just behind the front 2, and up top we've got Bruno and Miskovic. Again, Radibi, he's on a bit of a rest because he's scored a lot of goals. He needs a rest. He's been on a heavy workload, so there you go, 12 goals there. He's our top scorer. A little bit ahead of Miskovic, which gives him a chance to catch up. But yeah, looks like that should be a strong enough team to really get us through and hopefully get us some valuable away points at Tottenham, which is one of the teams that really you would think we'll be competing against for pushing for Europe. Let's go ahead and get some revenge. It does help to be scoring goals. The first goal I think is massively crucial, so let's get into it and see what we can do. Playing with an attacking mentality, because that's what one of the club visions is. I did sit and toy with playing at balance, which we have done in previous matches, but to achieve that kind of club vision goal, I've set it to attacking, and it will just be one of them teams that we either outscore the opponent or we don't. So we'll just put a bit of encouragement into the team here. Miskovic hasn't played much with Bruno as a pairing. I think Radibi's played the bulk of the games, so this is a good chance to see how they get on together. I would normally play them the other way around, to do with which foot is their dominant foot, but I think Miskovic in an advanced forward role this time is what I've gone for. So a fairly quiet first half, 5 shots, none on target. So if there's any way to tell them in the team sheet that we just need to, I wouldn't say I'm delighted. I'm happy enough with the performance. Just need a goal really, create some kind of opening in this second half. Looks like the first chance comes for Spurs. It's been headed clear, but like what normally happens on these corners, they'll get a chance to recycle the ball back into the box. Lamptey plays it over to Antonio. He may have been offside, but Moreno clears. So unless this is an exceptionally long highlight, I expect it to fizzle out as they sling it in one more time. And Mamadov picks it up. So looking quite good with morale. I'll just have to keep an eye on who's not playing so great in a minute. Fazzini on the ball. Moreno again. We've been quite many times on camera with this dodgy playing out from the back shenanigans, and I really would like them to choose their moments. I still want to play out from the back. I don't want to do it when it looks really ropey. As there was another flash of a shot. Bruno not playing particularly well, so what we'll do is we'll take him off because he's also on a yellow card. We'll get Radibi on. We'll swap them round in their roles, and hopefully the power and pace of Radibi will get us the opportunity we need to sneak a goal and get our noses in front. So Watio picks up the ball on the right hand side. He breaks forward. Through it goes to Miskovic, but it's been cut out by Spurs. We've got 2 defenders on them, so I'd like to think we'll win that ball. Miskovic into Radibi, playing a 1-2, and it goes again. And he slots it in off the post. There is suspicions of offside there. It happened too quickly for me to really give an unbiased view, but let's see. Yeah, goal disallowed. So it maybe was. I didn't really get a good view of it. Normally I would err on the side of Norwich because I'm a little bit biased, but if it was off, it was off. Again, Spurs making a chance down the right hand side now. That's where they're looking most threatening. Mamadov picks it up nicely. And we get a chance to play it from the back. Fazzini to Watio. DeSantis, our creative player. Then he goes to Miskovic, to Webster. Out wide to Galosi. Into Webster. And we come back deep to Neves again. Just looking for someone to pick out that killer pass. It goes through to Watio on the right, into Radibi. Oh, and he's hit the post again, and then was he fouled? So, I mean, I'd rather take the goal, but at second best, I would take a penalty. It certainly looked like he was impeded. Neves would probably be the one to step up to take it if it is. We're just seeing what the referee does. Points to the spot, and the penalty comes up. So I would expect Neves to step up to take this. He did miss his last one. Oh, it's Charlie Webster, who I don't think misses particularly often. I know the penalty before Neves had taken, and it was saved. I mean, it didn't affect us because we still went on to win that game, but yeah, he powers that home. Keeper was nowhere near it really because it was hit so hard. And that gives us something to hold on to for this second half as we go into the final 25 minutes. Players not looking too bad. Moreno for Allsop. I'm not sure if I want to make that change yet. 15 minutes to go. I mean, that'll take us up to 5th, which is good. Again, short ball out the back. We should probably turn it off when we're winning, but Neves and Fazzini with a chance to bring the ball out. Branthwaite. It's getting a bit enclosed in there, and they've got a lot of players back. That ball goes up top. Miskovic, can he win it? Yeah, he flicks it to Radibi. Looked like we'd have a little quick 1-2 and then put Miskovic back in there, but it was cut out. As Joe slips in and rolls one in the bottom corner. No, I think it looked on. I think it's going to be given. Yeah, it is. So, ball goes through. Yeah, very much looked on to me. That's a little bit disappointing. But a draw wouldn't be the worst result in the world. We just need to try and chivvy people up, get that kind of morale high again as Miskovic plays it to Radibi. And then a little pass there again, Radibi just hitting that back four, giving Spurs a chance to break out. We've gone from possibly a winning position to losing 2 goals in very quick succession as the ball goes into Antonio and he smashed it into the top corner. And that is that's a blow from going 1-0 up to 2 really quick goals there. Didn't even have a chance to make a substitution. And yeah, that's devastating news. A really good finish. First touch there into him and he smashes it in the top corner. So could be 3 points slipping away here as they get another one down the right hand side. They've been really strong down there with Lamptey. Gonzalez breaks into the box. Really dodgy defending there. Again, I'm not convinced about this 1-2s with players really pushing down their throats. Elise down the right hand side, and we managed to cut out Webster and Neves. Ball over the top to Miskovic. Takes a good first touch, but he just runs into a cul-de-sac. He's won it off his header there. He's managed to keep it in play as well. Back to Fazzini. He doesn't score many. But that was a great effort, but it's been beaten away. And unfortunately, it looks like, I mean, stats-wise, they probably deserve the game. We got a 1.8 XG, probably mostly down to the penalty. A little bit of a disappointing performance. We're going to have to take it on the chin. Sometimes this happens. You go out there with the best will in the world. You don't play terrible. Yeah, I don't think it was too bad a performance. I mean, it drops us down to 9th, but we're still within touching distance of them places. And I think we will recover against some of the so-called lesser teams. So, not too bad. First loss in the last 5. I mean, a couple draws, a couple wins, but yeah, not ideal. I'll click us through and get us ready for the Juventus game. We'll see how we do in Europe. I think we've already qualified from the group, so it's a good chance to rest a couple players and see what some others can do. Stick with me and we'll see if we get the away leg at Juve better than the home leg. Welcome back. So here we are for the away leg against Juve. So some slight changes, but not too many. So here we go, we'll run through the team. Mamadov in goals, back four of Golosi, Branthwaite, Moreno and Wattiao. Pretty settled up until that point. Midfield 3 of Neves, Radwan and Costas. Radwan and Costas coming into midfield, makes it a little bit stronger. De Santis continues behind the front too. And we've got Bruno and Radibi up front. Miskovic has dropped out. He's got food poisoning, unfortunately. But it's just one of them things that happens from time to time. So we'll get into the game. We'll give it a good go. It's not essential we win. But obviously beating them would give us a stronger position in the next round because of group placing. So it'd be fantastic if we could get it. But it's not the end of the world if we don't. So again, I'm not going to change us from an attacking. You can see there, Juve have been on great form. 1-4 out of the last 5 games. We're probably not on the same form, but it's not terrible. 1 loss in the last 5. So we'll get into it. We'll see how we get on. I'd like to see a couple more chances from our point of view. I'd certainly like to see less players hitting the post and more players hitting the back of the onion bag. But that doesn't always happen the way you want. So first chance looks like it goes to Juve, Kulusevski, and that's an absolute beauty of a finish. I mean, it looks very similar to Fazzini towards the end of the game against Tottenham when he curled one. It's just on this occasion it's gone in. We'll just see this from another angle there. It's a good little pass into Locatelli, but he continues his run inside. Luca feeds him in and he just bends it with his left foot. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Don't want to celebrate another team's goals too much, but again, that's the kind of standard of finish that we'd like to see Norwich doing from time to time. Golosi with a really poor clearance there. I'd rather he put it out than just gave it away. Great save by Mamadov onto the post, but giving Kulusevski far too much space down that right hand side. In comes the corner. Branthwaite heads away. Radibi will pick it up. Don't think we'll have too much of a chance to break. He's been chopped down, but yeah, not ideal. We'll just send that a little bit of encouragement. Again, I'm a little bit happier with this formation than when we had the wingers, but I'm not sure if it'll be our long-term go-to. We'll see. Radwan plays Bruno through one-on-one with the keeper, and he couldn't finish his dinner, unfortunately. And that's where I think our new signing Fitchen might make a little bit of a difference, because I think he'll be a little bit more clinical and prolific in the top of the field. When Bruno's done well for a couple of seasons, he's got a lot of potential still, and he might well force his way into that kind of starting lineup, but too many times I see him get a chance one-on-one and he doesn't finish off. He's not clinical enough. So it looks like Juve might have picked up a penalty. They have some kind of infringement in the box, and 20 minutes into the game, unless Mamadov steps up and does something breathtaking, which he has, absolutely magnificent. And certainly all those who've watched along can either agree or disagree with me. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but in terms of the whole save from start to finish in Unemployed to Unstoppable, Mamadov without doubt has to be the best signing, I think. We got him for about 8 million. I think it was from Dortmund, but he's been absolutely fantastic. He's played near enough every game apart from that short spell last season, which did cost us in terms of league placings, but as a whole, since we've had him, he's been nothing short of a phenomenon. And he's kept us in the game. Branthwaite's not having a great game. I'll probably give it a little, about 5-10 minutes, and then I'll look to make a couple changes. I mean, he's done exactly the opposite of what Kulusevski did. He's coming off the left and he's bent into the far corner. Puts us 2-0 down. So I was going to wait a little bit for the changes, but actually to get some players some experience, some time on, and then rest players for the next matches, I'm probably just going to make a few changes based on performance rating and current conditions. So regardless of what's happening in this highlight in the background, Branthwaite will come off. We'll get Wisdom Amy on for some game time. We might well give Chao Cesar a bit of a debut for Bruno, and then maybe one more. So who's the most tired? I'm thinking Wattier, but I'm just going to wait a little bit longer in terms of the last sub, because I've been caught out before finishing the game with 10 men because we pick up an injury. So we'll just see how it plays out first. Wattier's had the ball robbed off him. Maybe I should have chopped him off. Moreno back to Amy and Mamadov. Picked up the ball and we got a chance to build again. Into Cesar, Radwan, Neves. Again, we need that killer through ball from somebody. Neves giving it away. Flynn over the top to Luke. I'd like to think two of them will be able to fend him off. Playing that ball around at the back, the one we love so much. And a poor distribution. It's been picked off, and it looks like Juve are going to get some sort of chance. But fortunately for us, he wasn't able to finish like he would like to. So we'll just put a little bit of a press on Luca. Mamadov picks it up. Chance to distribute the ball. Maybe have a counter attack of our own. 30 minutes left. If we manage to get one, there's always a chance we could push for more. But they're really doing well with their press at the front end to stop us getting too far out. But De Sanctis and Caesars broke through, edge of the box. I mean, he had a chance. It would have been good for the young man. It's always good to see one of the young players getting on and making a few chances. So yeah, a good experience for him. He needs it in terms of his development. We're probably going to have to loan him out when Fitchen comes in January, because he's going to be even more limited in his game time. He'll be 6th choice striker. So realistically, we want to get him out on loan, probably to an English club, depending on his age. As that one slips away, I'm going to make the final change. Wattier is not having a great game. We'll get Dan Rhodes on, and that'll see us out to the end of the game. Radibi down the right side to Wattier, who's well, he doesn't know yet, but his number's up. Into Radibi, back to Costas. Wattier. De Santis, can he pick out a pass into Radibi? And that's a great little finish to get us back within touching distance. And that's where at times we've really been struggling with that little killer ball. We've got the players there who can score. I mean, Radibi's been on great goal scoring form. I think he's linked with Arsenal as well, which is a kind of an indicator that he's at the calibre of the player that we want to keep. Lovely little finish. We will carry on with a change. I mean, DeSantis, I don't know why he's so grumpy after we've just scored a goal, but it's his prerogative, I guess. Into Radwan, Chao Cesar. Ball's been given away cheaply in the middle. Juve with a couple of recognisable players there. I know we're a few seasons in, but it's nice to see some of them big name players still in. Into Costas, Radibi. Rhodes over the top to DeSantis. He's one-on-one with the keeper. He went round him, but he was unable to finish it. Bit of a shame. Still got 20 minutes left in this game. Into Neves, DeSantis. Can he conjure something up? Amy into Radwan. We've got a couple of creative players in the middle of the park. Into Cesar, Rhodes, who's just come on as sub. Into Costas. And again, we've got them pegged back a little bit. They're probably a bit nervous that there might be some kind of comeback on. Out it goes wide. Radwan picks it up. Into Galosi. He squeezes it through to Cesar. Back to DeSantis. And oh, I thought that was the one. I think it came off the keeper and hit the post. It would have been nice to get it back to 2-2. A draw against Juve would be quite a scalp to pick up with Norwich City. 10 minutes to go. Final bit of encouragement to the team to try and get that goal as Sane gets a chance from a free kick. Keeper didn't really move anywhere near it, so it's probably a good job it was off target. Another chance to play the ball out from the back. Galosi to Radwan, DeSantis. Into Costas, he's got a choice of two players. Into Radibi, one-on-one with the keeper. He's gone around him, and Radibi brings in that kind of magic again, that pace. Again, Costas with the through ball. We've levelled it up from 2-0 down. Costas, lovely little step through. Plays it with the outside of his foot to Radibi. He takes a touch around the keeper, and that sticks us back at 2-2. Don't think it really affects the group too much in terms of the outcome because they beat us in the first leg. So unless we get a goal in the last minute, it's still going to mean that they top the group and we come second. But in terms of result and building the club and where we are, I think that's a fantastic result. So 2-2 away from home at Juve. Not bad really. I know we had a penalty save in there as well. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Mamadov with an 8.5. Radibi with an 8.7. Once we get another striker in there at the top, Fishing, I'm hoping is going to be magnificent. Things are picking up, and it may be really bring us really strong in for that second half. I don't think we're as bad defensively as they were making out there, but there you go. There's a picture of the league. So I mean, we'd need a 6-goal swing to get past Juve. I can't see that happening. So I think we're probably going to come second, which isn't the end of the world. We'll get to the next round. We'll get to an entertaining tie, if nothing else. So that is magnificent. I probably won't be able to see Fishing because I think we've got a fixture on the 1st of January. So what I'll do is I'll leave that unveiling to the next episode. Once again, thanks for watching. Stick a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the journey so far. Have a little throw in the comments section on where you think we'll finish. Can we pick up a third trophy in a row, or can we break into that kind of top 4 position in the league? I think it's possible. But yeah, let us know in the comment section. Once again, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon.